All right, I'll start off stating the obvious. Obviously, a very disappointing season. Didn't go the way we wanted it to go. I hate it for our fans. I hate it for our players. It wasn't good enough. Bottom line, 500 in this league is not good enough. And I'm honored to be the head coach here and privileged to be the head coach here. And I'm going to do everything in my power and work tirelessly to get this thing fixed this offseason so we can get over the hump and get into the postseason. So with that, ready when you guys are.
Shane, when you look back at this season, or really throughout the first 3 years of your tenure, why do you think this team hasn't been able to win late in the season? I know we asked it before, but just, 9-17 in December, January.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a deep study of mine this offseason for sure. I think it's a mindset. I think it's a belief, too, that every time you step on that practice field, and it starts with me, and possibly looking into even more like in-the-game situations. We do them. I need to probably do them more to put those guys in position to be successful, when those situations occur. So that's going to be something I'm going to look at deep, obviously, because you got to be great in November and December, and we weren't good enough this year.
Whenever you guys have this plan moving forward, you've kind of given us indication that Daniel Jones is part of those plans. Is that right? How do you see him being part of this team going forward?
Yeah, obviously, what Daniel did for us before the injury was phenomenal. So those are conversations that I'm sure will take place with myself and Chris and Daniel, as we go through that process.
Do you think he wants to be back?
I believe so. He was playing really good football for us before the injury. So obviously, like I said, we'll have those conversations.
How do you handle the decision given that he's rehabbing an injury, but just from the injury standpoint?
Yeah, I think you talk to the medical doctors and see how the rehab process is going to go. But I do know he's going to attack the rehab process the right way. I have no doubts about that. Like I said, he's already been he's still in all the meetings. Obviously, rehabbing as much as he can. He's really just resting it right now. But he's been going about it the right way.
Given the nature of that injury, do you at least have to approach it conservatively, just in terms of like due diligence?
Yeah, there's no question. Obviously, you got to do your research on it. But just from what we've gathered, just in a short time, obviously feel good about his rehab process moving forward.
The way Riley played yesterday, does it make you second guess at all the decision to go with Phillip instead of Riley down the stretch?
No, I think it was a great learning experience for Riley to be around Phillip. And then obviously what Riley did yesterday was invaluable experience too, to grow and learn. But it was very encouraging the way he played yesterday. He did a lot of good things for us.
Given Daniel's injury history, if he is brought back, do you have to have other contingency plans built in place?
Yeah, those are all conversations that'll take place, in the offseason, James.
There has been some question about like when you did bring Phillip in, had Riley played, obviously he could have gotten that experience. I don't know how when you made that calculation, I guess. Looking back at it, did you miss anything? You feel like?
Yeah, I think part of it was the reason we brought Phillip in too is because Riley had a knee at that moment. So it was, hey, we need to do something. And so when we brought Phillip in, obviously we didn't bring Phillip in to sit on the bench. And again, that experience with Phillip being here, I think, was great for everybody involved. The team, the offense, just having his veteran leadership was huge.
So you would do it. You'd approach it the same if you had to do it over again. I assume.
Yeah.
Shane, during your tenure, you are 25-26, and you're 7-22 against winning teams. Why, I guess, not having success against teams that are good?
Yeah, that's not good enough is the bottom line. And I got to find the answers to that for sure because we got to get over the hump. Like I said, 500 is not good enough in this league. You got to get over the hump. You got to get your butt in the postseason. And we got to find ways to do that, win the tight games, do a better job of that, putting the guys in position, training camp, practice, whatever it is to get over that hump.
Those late game situations, I know we've asked you about it because they've come up a lot the last chunk of the year. Where does that come down to execution? Is that some player stuff? Is that, like you said, working on some different things in practice? How do you plan to attack that this offseason?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's going to be a deep dive study for me. We know this league. You look around the league, you saw a game last night that came down to a field goal. That's what this league is. It's going to come down to that. Like I said, it's going to be a play there, a play here, a call there, a call here to get that thing done. And I think, again, it's that belief that, hey, we're going to find a way to win this game no matter what the circumstances are. And, that's what I got to do a good job of coming up is instilling that belief. I think the guys do believe, but I think it's just got to be a little bit more. It's got to be a little bit more to get over the hump.
Not just losing a couple of those here or there, but I think 5 of those 7 losses that you guys have ended the year have been those 1-score games. Is that maybe more concerning than just kind of having those sprinkled throughout the year, having a string of those? I know you said that you feel like this team has continued to fight, but
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say about this team is that it could have been easy to just fall down and bow. Like our guys were in the games, we were battling like crazy, and obviously we fell up short. And like I said, we got to find ways to win those games. We have to.
I assume you talked to the team already this morning. What did you share with them? What did you share with those guys?
Yeah, basically what I'm sharing with you guys, pretty much. Like, 500 is not good enough, and I'm going to work tirelessly to try to figure that out and get it fixed, for these guys moving forward, because they deserve that. This city deserves that. The fans deserve it, and we got to be better. Bottom line.
This time last year, one of the big themes going into the offseason was complacency and making guys uncomfortable and raising the competition level. Do you feel like that improved through the year? Is it something you guys still need to address this offseason?
Yeah, I did. I think every year, you guys heard me say this, but every year is a new year. I mean, not all the same faces are going to be in this building. That's the business we're in. And so that camaraderie, that commitment to each other, you got to rebuild that every single year. That starts in the offseason, moving into training camp and into the season.
How do you balance having so many key players get hurt down the stretch versus the sting of 7 straight losses?
Yeah, I think I've learned in this league, being in this league for 16 years, that injuries are part of it. We all know that. And you got to find a way to overcome those injuries. As a coaching staff, as players, whatever it is, we always say next man up. It's a cliche in the coaching world, but it is the truth. The next guy up's got to show up and play. And as coaches, we got to put them in position to go be successful.
There seem to be like a lot of questions on defense down the stretch. I mean, how much scrutiny does that side of the ball deserve right now, and how deep do you have to dive and get that?
Well, we'll dive into everything, but it's the ultimate team game. I'm never going to put it on one side of the football, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. It's all of us. We're in this thing together, and everything's got to improve and get better. That's the bottom line.
With all the personnel decisions you got to do, as you stand here today, do you see a role for Anthony Richardson next year?
Like we'll see. I mean, the biggest thing is the eye limitations. That's got to get healthy, and those are conversations that will take place, Chap, in the future.
How close or not close do you think this team is, being 8-2 and then finishing 8-9?
Yeah, I think that's a loaded question. It's like, what do you mean close? Like, is it Super Bowl close, or is it playoff close, a division champion?
Do you think you have a good team?
I do think we have a good team. I think we've shown that early in the season, but it wasn't good enough to end the season. You know what I mean? It wasn't. That's the bottom line. And so we got to find a way to get over the hump to get into the postseason.